everybody, and welcome back to Big Talk Pigskin. I'm your host, Bowden. I'm joined with my wonderful co-host, Korbin. Korbin, how are we doing?
How we doing? Doing good, man.
I'm doing great. Glad to be here. Off-season action, as everybody knows, and we discussed last time. Indiana did, in fact, win the national championship, 16-0. First time since 1899 Yale, something like that. One of those late 1800 Yale teams. So
Very
pretty impressive. Yeah, huge for the brand. Today on some of our off-season action, as we told you guys last time, when the last episode aired, that was the day the playoff committee was like, hey, this is our answer. This is what we're doing this year. We didn't get to talk about that because we recorded, obviously, before all that decision. So we're going to talk about that today, like we had said, and then another NCAA decision, uniform patches. That we'll talk about that. Yeah, the NBA adapted that not too long ago. Now it seems like everybody is. So that'll be an interesting one. We'll get into that in a second. Playoff expansion up first. So Korbin, would you like to kind of say what the committee had decided here?
Yeah, sure. I mean, just kind of diving into, kind of the grounds for the expansion. I just think it's an interesting topic. That
it's always going to be discussed.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't understand I understand the college football sort of drive for conquering, right? I feel like in a way college football is synonymous with, like, American history, where it's like conquer until you can't conquer anymore, right? And we're getting to that point, I think, where it's, when is enough going to be enough? When is this just going to be, a professional football league format, or we're already re-signing players. We're celebrating the but kind of
you have to buy yourself out of contract.
Right. Yeah, it's insane. But kind of to loop back into the sort of the playoff conversation, the Big Ten was proposing 24 teams, a 24-team playoff. The SEC rebutted the offer and said, we would rather have 16. Let's do 16 for 3 years, and then we'll do the expansion. Correct.
So that kind of the SEC wanted 16. The Big Ten wanted to go straight to 24. The Big Ten tried to compromise with the SEC. It's the other way. The Big Ten went, hey, we'll do 16 for 3 years and then move to 24. If you guys will agree to do that with us, we will advance. We'll approve 16. We'll vote with you.
Yeah.
16 will happen. We do that for 3 years. Then we move on to 24 because that's what the Big Ten wanted. And the SEC went, nope, not one bit. I don't know why they wouldn't want to expand up to 24 after. Really, honestly, that makes no sense to me at all. I would assume that I know 16 is good for them, but 24 is even better. Unless they think the Big Ten is a lot superior like we do.
No, I think
we'll bring in more teams.
I see arguments for both. I don't think 12 is bad. I
don't think 12 is bad.
Yeah, I think
I have a thought now as 16 versus 24. I think in a 16-team format, you're still able to have your own conference championship games. You go to 24, you don't do that. There's too many. So I think the SEC is like, no, we want to still make millions of dollars off our conference championship game, which makes sense, which makes complete sense. So actually, maybe I understand them.
Well, and not only that is you take away the conference championship, what's the reason of being in a conference? Like, just to say,
there's not a whole lot.
And again, I guess the argument is, it's like, in the scope of college football history, the conference championship is a relatively new sort of
I think
standard.
The SEC started doing it like in the 90s, mid-late 90s.
Yeah, they were onto it early. Yeah, they were onto it early. And
the MAC followed them, and it took the Big Ten forever.
I think
we had to add 2011. That was Nebraska's
right?
first year.
Wisconsin, right? They won the first two or something.
Yeah,
Nebraska,
Wisconsin won the first two. Nebraska went to them. Maybe Nebraska won one. They might have won one of those first couple. I can check on that.
Yeah.
But like Nebraska, when they joined the Big Ten, and made it 12 teams. Penn State made it 11 in 93.
90.
90. Oh, okay, 90, maybe 91. Okay. Yeah. So they made it 12 teams. The Big Ten, I believe that was 2011.
Yeah, but I mean, I see sort of attempting to provide parity, sort of for the FCS and the FBS, because the FCS is 24, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and but again, I love the and I guess in a sense it kind of makes sense that we're sort of going towards this. It's sort of like a crash course, in the sense that we're going to get back to, I think, ground level zero, and it'll all sort of build itself back up, right? Like these are like, it's sort of cyclical, right? It cycles, right? Maybe if we go to 24 teams and conferences are sort of voided anyways, maybe that's sort of progression. I mean, for God's sakes, we live in a world where USC is in the Big Ten, and SMU is in the ACC. Like, this is
Cal and Stanford are in the ACC.
Like, what are we doing? One is that school, that university is on the Pacific Coast, and it is in the Atlantic Coast. Like, it's like this stuff is sacrilegious. And you know what? We used to have, I think, standards in this sport, right? I think we used to have an understanding where once something was put into effect, we kind of stood on it for a long time. Look at how long the 4-team playoff was set in stone. It was 12 years, right? 12 years.
2014 was that first year.
2014. Oh no, yeah.
So about 10.
10 years. So
10 years.
It was 10 years. Yeah.
Like, we got see, and we had never had a playoff before at the FBS level, at that bigger level. So obviously they're going to try it out, but I was surprised they never had advanced earlier, because it just always seemed, it was always in talks, always. Yeah. And it took 10 years before they end up making a new decision. And if the Big Ten and the SEC are going to argue and just get in stalemates with each other all the time, we're going to see the same thing happen again.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on that beginning of the Big Ten championship. Wisconsin did win the first two.
Okay.
Nebraska had made it in 2012, their second year in the conference.
Yeah.
They lost. That was the year Wisconsin was like 8-5.
Yeah, but Penn State and
Ohio State were banned from postseason, so they couldn't go. So the third best team in the, I believe, leaders division.
Leaders and legends.
Yeah, that was awful, by the way.
Bad.
Third place team in the leaders division, that like 7-5 Wisconsin made it and blew out number 14 Nebraska, by the way, 70-31.
I mean,
but back to that playoff.
Yeah, but I guess how do you fix it? Right.
I have one thought as to fixing the playoff.
Okay.
I have one, and it's literally just copy and paste pretty much of how the FCS does it. So
but then you kill conferences then.
No, you do. You pretty much do. So the way I would do it is you have 10 team conferences. So every conference has 10 teams in it. There's 136 teams in college football. So you'd pull up a couple FCS teams that are on a bigger stage to put up in a conference or two, to make it 140, have 14 10-team conferences. And then you have 10 teams in each conference. So your school then plays 9 conference games plus 3 out-of-conference games. And the winner of each conference, whoever has the best record in every conference, automatically wins their conference, goes to the playoff auto bid. And then you have at-larges for those last spots. So if you have 14 conferences, you have 14 guarantee wins or guarantee ins, and then 10 at-large spots.
Yeah, and
that's the way I would do it. But yeah, you would have to completely reshape the entirety of college football again.
Right, and then that's seismic, right? I mean,
you're right. It changes everything.
Yeah,
I think that would be the best action.
I think the super conferences where we're at now, I don't think it's a completely negative thing, right? You have four juggernauts, right? ACC, and this is in no specific order. Obviously, I think the Big Ten is the best when it comes to that, but you have the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, and then the Big 12. Each of those conferences are going to have representation in the playoffs regardless. My biggest thing is regardless. So if the size of pool player wise is growing, then the opportunities on all fronts should grow as well. So if you're growing 24, or excuse me, if we're jumping from 12 to 24, then 4 spots maybe should be allocated to those at large, sort of group of 5 teams.
Yeah, I don't disagree. As you could go maybe the best 3 group of 5 schools make it in at that point. Maybe you only go 2 because at 12 team you're only at the best group of 5 makes it in. So maybe you just double it and go 2. Maybe. So you guarantee 2 every year. But there are going to be years where you have 3 of those group of 5 teams within the top 20 to 18. And as long as if all 3 of them are conference champions, 2 of them are going to auto bid in. 1 is going to have an at-large spot because they're so high up. So
I think what you trade
could work.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think it definitely could work, and I guess just kind of spitballing thought process here is I think what you do trade in losing the conference championship is, you gain sort of the magnitude and the extreme esteem that it means to be ranked again, which really sucks at the same time because you're giving power to incompetent individuals. Like the AP like committee, it's legitimately awful. It's awful.
They're bad. It's just a bunch of reporters who work for the AP. It's not people who are football reporters.
These people don't know football.
The majority of them don't. Yeah. There's maybe they have 100 voters or something like that. 60.
No, I think it's a lot more than that.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I think so.
I thought there was 65 first place votes each week. So I think it's 65 total voters. Was my guess. But anyway, you're gonna go maybe like 5% of that are people who love football and watch basically every single game possible. They're people like us. Maybe 5%. Maybe 10% watches football and kind of enjoys it and all that. We're going to have 5% who's actually with us.
630.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get 63 first place votes. So it's divisible by 10. Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe 50 of those people are actually watch football.
It says hold on here. Yeah. Because the college football is obviously much different. It's a rotating. That's a rotating committee.
Yes.
Or, but it says that 630. Hold on. Yeah. Now okay. It's giving me AP rankings now. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense. You have this X amount of people. They're not all football people. I saw videos this year on social media of people this is who I put in my AP poll. And it was the worst ranking of all time. And there was another reporter who was
there's a couple Twitter accounts that did the same thing that sort of follow who people are voting.
This is my favorite mascot of each of these. Yeah. So I'm just going to pick these ones.
I was an LSU grad. Go Tigers. I'm going to put them 1 every week. I know that we lost last week to whoever. It's
what are we doing? I could be a good AP poll voter. I could be great.
I'm sure you'd be better. I'm sure you'd be better than whatever is going on.
That's what I'm saying. I could probably name, maybe not name 630 people better than them. But I probably could. I guess personal people I know probably couldn't name 630, but I could name 630 people who do a better job than every single one of them, or majority of them at least.
No, but I think just kind of. Yeah, I mean, no, you're good. I think just kind of to circle back. I mean, to sort of the playoff expansion. I mean, do we think less is less more in this situation, or I guess kind of just to kind of put a cap on it? I mean, in my personal opinion, I'm going to sit here and I say, the more teams that get in, I think the more carnage. I think the more cool stories. I think all things that we can sort of run into.
It becomes more fun.
Yeah, but what I don't want to happen is we lose the integrity of kind of what we've built up on in the conferences. Now, every each of the 4 big conferences, you don't even play every team in your conference each year.
No, not even close.
Because it's that large. So what are we really fighting for at this point, right? The Big Ten, I feel like we sort of lost our integrity after we expanded from 14, I think.
Right, and we have 18 now. You play 9 conference games. You play half of the conference every year.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's why I think I like having 14 10-team conferences. I think it's perfect.
But then
if you want to go to a 24-team model,
I just have a problem with killing you. Then you're chopping up the MAC, or you're chopping up the Mountain West, or you're
you're gonna have to chop up some of it. But you also can chop it up in a way where you kind of throw some bigger programs into some spots, you know.
Yeah, but then
you make those conferences stronger in general. Even the lower rounds, you make them a little bit better. If you go to the Mountain West, obviously Utah used to be in the Mountain West, right? So let's say in this new scenario, they wouldn't be in the Pac-10, but they'd be in the Mountain West along with BYU. These guys are good programs right now.
Yeah, but
that would bring up the level. Boise State would still be. It brings up the level of like New Mexico.
No, I know.
UNLV.
Or if we're being honest, it drags down, I think, the play of.
Not if you do it to everybody.
But then I think it just drags down the play, period, because you go from Utah was playing Colorado, Utah in this scenario, right? Utah is playing all these premier programs. You're getting people out because every weekend is peak cinema. And then guess what? Now it's it's Saturday morning, and the Utah Utes are playing the Wyoming Cowboys. And I get what you're saying is where you have to kind of find a way to divvy it up. I don't think you really have to. I think keep the super conferences. They're going to get to 20 eventually. I think everyone's going to get to that 20 number. So you have 4 conferences at 20 teams.
I don't think it'll be all 4 of them. I think it's the Big Ten and the SEC, and then they kind of go, hey, man, we're going to split off and start our own kind of division for football. We'll take 10 more guys, the next best 10 teams who want to come.
I think so. I think there is something sacred about it. I think there's something sacred about college football.
I hope there is.
I think we got to get Nick Saban.
But if there was something sacred, we wouldn't have 20s.
I don't think that's true because I think the FCS has done it really well. I do think it sucks. I do think it sucks.
Well, they don't have 20 teams in conferences.
Well, no, but I mean, it's also much smaller, and there's not as much. I don't want to say
there's
as
more
much tradition, but no. But I'm saying like a smaller scale, as in like tradition.
Yeah, sure.
Like that. I'm saying like actual impact, like. Hey, it sucks. Arkansas Pine Bluff isn't playing their interstate rivals, but I feel bad for all 700 people that affects. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's where the argument.
I don't know, man. I think Dayton should have to play Ohio State every year.
Well, I mean, we'll bring back the OAC then, man.
It's still there.
We'll get all original members.
Let's take a sidebar. Let's get every Ohio school, any college, any division, all in the OAC. Throw every other school in there. Throw Bluffton in there. They get to join the OAC now. Defiance. Throw Ohio State, Dayton, Youngstown State, Cleveland State. Give me all of them there.
But if you did that for every state, I wonder who, like, per state or like by state actually has the best overall program. We're probably up there. Ohio is probably up there.
Yeah. Oh, you mean what state has the best?
What state has the best overall?
Ohio would be up there. Ohio, Texas.
It's 100%.
Ohio and Texas. Well, Texas would lead on that like JUCO level. But if you go and look at the national championships, go and look at the national championships Florida, at every level.
Florida would be big.
No, I'm saying go look at the natties at every level. Who's won them this past year? In D2, it was up in Michigan. In
who won it? Who won D2?
That was Grand Valley.
Was it Grand Valley? Grand Valley State.
Valley. Sorry, Grandview's an NAIA in Iowa. They won the NAIA national championship.
Go Lakers, man.
You look at like Indiana won the D1. Illinois had Illinois State make it there, like South Dakota, like all the national championship champions this year, and at each level, with the exception of South Dakota, we're in the Midwest, and South Dakota's right outside of it.
South Dakota really is.
It's right outside of it. It's plains, but it's right outside of it.
Yeah.
Plains.
Yeah.
But like all of them are kind of in this same area. So
well, here's that's a separate argument. Just as that, because if you gave the map to an American and said, "Hey, point to the Midwest of the America of America," Ohio State is not in the Midwest.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
But yes, to your point exactly. In the traditional standard, yeah, South Dakota is definitely not in the Big Ten. But I was going to say, just to wrap up playoff expansion, I think we'll see. We will see how it all shakes out and who ends up winning. In my personal opinion, I think the Big Ten's going to get their way. But we'll see if that compromise is made and how long we'll get treated with 12 teams here. Because I don't hate it. I don't hate 12 team format. We haven't seen enough cool stories yet come from it. I mean, this year's was pretty awesome. So, I mean, on to more cinema, you know?
Yeah. And I have one last thing to say about it, something we didn't really hit on, just kind of like a new rule of it. The Power Four so they changed the rule from the top 5 highest ranked conference champions make it in to all Power 4 conference champions make it in. So Duke would have made it in this year under this new rule, and 1 guarantee to the top ranked group of 6. So this year scenario would not have happened under this rule.
So they
changed it because of that.
They changed it
because of this year. Yep.
So
then Notre Dame also guarantees a spot in if they're ranked top 12 in the end. So if the committee is really like, we don't think Notre Dame deserves it, they're just going to put them at 13th.
Yeah, I think we're just
there's no point.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't change.
Deserve it. You're the 13th team. You're never going to move.
Yeah, it doesn't change anything. We're still going to find every year. We're going to find Notre Dame somewhere from
15
the 8th ranked. Yeah, exactly. The 8th ranked team to like the 16th ranked team, and it's just going to be every year. Oh, are they going to move us up 2 spots? We deserve to move up 2 spots. You know, it's just it's always
the same.
It's nonstop.
Same stuff.
So it doesn't. It literally it legitimately does not matter. It's always something. So.
It never stops with Notre Dame.
No.
And we'll be okay with it when they become a Big Ten team. But for now, we're not. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll probably change in the future. But for now, this is next year's kind of setup. Over to the other topic, uniform patches. NCAA has now allowed uniform patches. Like I said before, the NBA kind of started doing that about 8 years ago.
Yeah. Did you see
NFL? Is the NFL doing it?
Did you see the NFL?
Yeah, the NFL's doing it.
No, but I'm saying,
they're going to.
No. They the Super Bowl just came out. The Super Bowl uniforms with the patches.
Oh yeah,
it looks awful in my opinion.
Haven't seen it.
I guess they put a 250 patch under the captain patch, and then on the other side it's the Super Bowl patch, and it just looks messy. There's a lot going on. Like Drake May, they just came out like with his. It looks awful. It looks terrible because they had to put like the captain patch above the American 250 patch, and even that is like slightly too low. It's very strange. You getting eyes on it?
Yeah,
I know that. I know this sucks for listeners because.
Yeah, not a huge fan.
Yeah,
not crazy about that at all.
Yeah, it does not look good, right? The 250 patch looks
the captain
like some XFL stuff.
Yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, I don't need that.
Cool, America's 250. That is very cool.
That's cool. That's awesome. But I don't need that on the patch for a football game.
No, sir. No, thank you.
I don't need that for a football game. There's no point to add that into a football game. If this was the NFL's 100th year and you had a 100-year patch, sure. The 100th Super Bowl, make some bigger deal of the Super Bowl patch. Not that.
No.
Not that.
No.
You guys Google it.
Give it a goog.
Give it a goog. I mean, you got to find that. That's not good.
For Google.
So yeah, that's not good. And that's a good argument against why we shouldn't have jersey patches.
Don't do it. Dude.
They don't look great. I don't
No.
like most of the NBA's jersey patches.
And what is it? Yeah, what is it going
They
to
look
look
better
like?
now that it's been like 8 years. Like
and
they kind of just blend in, but
right. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be some cool ones.
Right.
You know, one that's coming to my, like, just popping into my head right now is 76, the gas station.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they, maybe I'm mixing them up with another gas station, but do they do the dinosaur? I know they do the ball with the 76, but I know one of the gas stations, they do a dinosaur logo. I know they're out in the Western United States.
They're in the West. I'm not sure.
So whether it's Nevada or whether it's Fresno, whether it's whoever it is, they sort of.
Right. They get a cool one on that.
That'll be
end.
pretty cool. Yeah.
And that's
some other.
I was going to say my kind of thing is, are we going to see schools getting new sponsors or smaller sponsors from their school to like pay them more? Are we going to go, hey, the person who's on your field, like, are they going to say, hey, we're going to give you X amount more and we're going to be your jersey sponsor as well? Because I look, a school I think is cool. Iowa has a cool logo on their field that we have. Why did my light turn off? Okay. They have John Deere on their field.
Yeah.
John Deere Construction. So it's black and gold, same as Iowa's colors.
That'd be cool.
You have a black jersey, you just kind of do a gold outline of it, embroidery. That would look cool. But if you went and said, hey, we're going to put Casey's gas station on there or Hy-Vee, it's going to just look tacky.
Yeah.
It needs to be something that kind of meshes.
Yeah, I think schools will have that sort of discretion.
Is Oregon going to get a second Nike logo?
I don't think so.
I think double logo.
But even like North Carolina, right? It's like, oh, Jordan, but they're already a Jordan school, right?
They're already a Jordan school.
And so it's one of those things where it's interesting. It's really kind of slipping my mind right now of companies. Like, I'm trying to think of big companies out of Columbus. Like, are we going to see a Safe Light patch on Ohio State's? Are we going to see a Safe Light patch on Ohio State's jersey?
And that's what I kind of thought about Ohio State is like canes. Like, I don't know if they do this everywhere in every other state that has canes. In Ohio, every canes in the state always has some sort of Ohio State
merch,
football player cutout merch in there.
Which I do think they're
from Louisiana.
Yeah, they are. They're Louisiana.
So would they go on LSU's jerseys or would they go on Ohio State? I don't know. Do they make this big of a deal of any other school? Because if they don't, maybe they just love Ohio State so much they would want to be.
I do think Canes has an affiliation with the NCAA, so it would make sense. It could be regional. I didn't get the chance to check that out at the State College Raising Canes, so I unfortunately
they didn't put you up on a cardboard cutout?
No, they definitely they weren't putting me up on billboards over there. No.
Shame.
Yeah, I made a poster or two, but never billboards. Never billboards.
Yeah. And then like a big one I think of is Arkansas Walmart.
Yeah.
I think Walmart already sponsors their field, but that would probably go on
makes perfect sense. Well. Yeah.
Washington, I don't know who their field sponsor is, but like
Alaska
Starbucks
Airlines.
Is from Seattle.
Alaska Airlines, that's
Alaska Airlines, but Starbucks is from Seattle. So would they want to sponsor their jerseys? Like,
real.
I just think I think it's going to be cool to see who goes on there because I feel like it's kind of a fun part of the game, but I also don't love them.
Yeah, like you're it's all fun and games until you see like a McDonald's logo and it's like what?
Right.
Like
Illinois.
Yeah. What? Well, or California, depending on
or USC,
depending on what.
Depending on who you ask.
Yeah, depending on who you ask. But no, I mean, this will be interesting for sure.
And like I hated it when the NBA came out with it. Now I think I'm just so used to it, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I think that's
the only reason it doesn't
bother me now.
Just I don't
want and it needs to blend. It needs to mesh with your jerseys. We don't need random logos on there. Ohio State shouldn't have a Ford logo on there on their uniforms. I need a red company to sponsor them or a black. And then just kind of have your outline.
I don't know that a lot of teams are going to buy into it as quick as what we think, or excuse me, a lot of companies are going to buy in as quick as
I'd rather have helmet patches.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like a helmet sticker on the back.
Yeah, sure. Like that's cooler than
I think that's
then
better.
sort of, yeah, and you can do your you can do your due diligence of making sure the cameraman's working the camera and hitting the back of the
Right.
helmets and stuff. But like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard to somehow implement like Starbucks logo onto Washington Husky. You know what I mean? Like that's not.
Yeah.
Like shout out to the graphic designers graduates are doing backflips right now, dude. Like.
I need to see some more like mock-ups. I haven't seen like any.
Oh, I've seen some disgusting Michigan ones where like,
what?
not good. Like people being stupid putting like hundreds of companies on it, and I'm just like,
okay,
how far are we from that? You know, but Ford's one of those where it's like they talked about like
Michigan that could fit Michigan color scheme wise.
Yeah,
you just make their blue darker on there and have like a white or like gray outline on
it. And then you're kind of stretching it too because that is Detroit, and I mean Ann Arbor is really
it's closer than any of the other big schools.
True.
East Lansing's a lot farther,
like 69 miles further.
I see this one that has Charmin on Ohio State.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Ultra soft.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, it'll be cool. Yeah, I don't know how many we'll have this like first year of it. Probably will take a couple years before everybody's in on it, or everybody will be like, "Hey, NIL money, I'm doing it now."
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We'll have another episode for you guys next Friday as well. And have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend.
We'll see you.